promise the rest of the video will be in English, not Parseltongue. I am of course doing the comparison between Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets book and the film. First of all, I got this for free at one of those leave a book, take a book tables on my way to work, so that was brilliant. And this is actually my favourite cover of Chamber of Secrets. I just think it looks so fun, even though Harry and Ron look rather entertaining. So, Chamber of Secrets, I've said it before and I'll say it again, it is not my favourite film. In fact, on par with Goblet of Fire, it's probably my least favourite film, but I did thoroughly enjoy the book and I do like the film. I just think, to start off with, on this occasion, I prefer the book. As with my other comparisons, this will 100% contain spoilers. It will not only contain spoilers for Chamber of Secrets, but also Philosopher's Stone and the books that follow as well. I guess one of the main exciting things that Chamber of Secrets gives us is Dobby. Everybody loves Dobby. I love Dobby, and he is just adorable, and obviously he has a fantastic journey after this book. Maybe fantastic's not the right word to use there, but I love Dobby in this. I think it was a really great introduction to him. I think he works better in the film just because there's kind of a comedic element there that doesn't really necessarily resonate in the book, but he's great in both elements. One thing that definitely does work better in the film is the visit to the Burrow, just because it's so wonderful to see all of the magical elements coming to life, and I love the casting of the Weasleys. I think it's perfectly casted, and it's just such a magical, homely place, and you really get the feel of claustrophobia when you're watching the film of all of these people crammed into this kind of decaying house, and it's so lovely. The thing that upsets me a little bit, in the film we don't get the denoming of the garden. In the Chamber of Secrets PlayStation game, one of my favourite things to do was denome the garden of the Burrows, where you could fling the gnomes around and gain points by throwing them further away, but not too far, otherwise they'd be too far out of the garden. So not having the denoming in the film is a bit of a shame, but it's a nice little treat for the book that I kind of forget about until I go back and read it. We also get our first proper sniff at Knockturn Alley, which I love. Being a Slytherin, Knockturn Alley for me is kind of a wonderful concept. And then of course shortly after that we meet Gilderoy Lockhart, Kenneth Branagh. I love him, and I love Lockhart as a character. There are of course times when he annoys me, but he's meant to be an irritating character. I think visually Lockhart looks really appealing. He kind of feels a little bit less attractive in the novel, and I don't know if that's just because he has his Branagh guys in the film, but Lockhart and the way Lockhart progresses in both, I think is fantastic. Obviously with Lockhart we also get the iconic Cornish Pixies scene and that wonderful moment where Neville is pinned by the ears, and that doesn't really come across in the book of course, but in the film it's so funny, and I think that has to be one of the greatest Harry Potter moments. Of course we have the Ford Anglia, the flying Ford Anglia, and whenever I see a Ford Anglia or a car that looks a little bit like a Ford Anglia, because my motor knowledge is not that great, I get a little bit excited and think I wonder if the Weasleys are in that just now. And I love the Ford Anglia, and I think that blue, the blue colour of that really reminds me of Chamber of Secrets no matter where I see it. One thing that absolutely worked much better in the film is when Ron receives the Howler. Obviously it's entertaining in the book and we can laugh at Ron in the book, but when they're in the Great Hall and he receives the Howler and you have Julie Walters' voice screaming out there and then it shreds itself up, it's so funny and so fun, and definitely works much better in the film. I love the Polyjuice Potion, I love Mona Myrtle. I think Shirley Henderson was perfectly cast as Mona Myrtle, and of course we get to see more of her over time, and she's such a fun character. Of course on the darker side of the film we have people and animals, Mrs. Norris, becoming petrified, and I will say that this is really quite a complex plot in the sense that we have to try and work out how they're becoming petrified, but it's not in like a detective-y way. We're not being fed bits of information throughout the book. It's just a case of Hermione suddenly discovers in the back of her brain that she might know what it is, and then it's revealed to us. I actually think it's kind of, they could have done that a little, by they I mean J.K. Rowling, could have maybe fed us a little bit more tidbits throughout the novel, but then of course it was written at the time as a children's book and that would have made it a little bit too heavy. Obviously we have Tom Riddle. Tom Riddle I think is a really great character, and if I could own any one prop from Harry Potter from all of the series, yes, I think it would be Tom Riddle's diary. Aragog, I love. Obviously I'm not afraid of spiders, so for me Aragog is very exciting, but I've seen that scene in the Forbidden Forest so many times that I watch it now thinking I'm getting a little bit bored of this, and I think that's one of the main reasons why Chamber of Secrets is probably my least favourite film. The highlight of it all, of course, is when we get the battle with the basilisk. I love the basilisk. I would love to be a Parselmouth. Hiya! I do wish I could speak Parseltongue. That's probably one of the most exciting things about this film. But I do love The Chamber of Secrets, don't get me wrong. Just because it's kind of the bottom of the 7 stories, it doesn't mean it's bad. If I had to recommend one of either the book or the film, I would definitely recommend the book. Just because I think there are a few things in this that we don't necessarily get in the film. But as I said, there are certain scenes, such as with the burrow and with the howler, that are a lot stronger in the film, and of course Dobby as well. I would love to know what you think of Chamber of Secrets, what you love, what you hate, whether you prefer the book or the film. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye!